Hello, everyone. How are you
Hello.
doing?
Hello, Dan. You seem worried.
Yeah, I seem very worried. Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, the things I'm worried about will never see the light of day because I'll delete them in the editing process. But hello, hi, you lot. It's been a while, and hello, you lot. Thank you for joining us as we reconvene with this lovable bunch of not vagabonds anymore.
We have a home, a house, a town.
You are
Yeah.
certified homeowners.
Oh,
Yes.
it is a
How are you-
fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh,
We've become the people we hate.
how are we all feeling? It's been a while, but you all good? You all been keeping well?
Oh, sad. We're sad,
Yeah.
Dan.
Why are you
Because Carl isn't here. Where's
sad?
Carl
Oh, we're
gone?
sad about that.
We are sad about that.
Oh, yes, we're very, very sad.
Aw.
Well, we're more our thoughts and prayers to Carl, who's currently covered in pee, poop, and puke.
For unexplained reasons.
For unexplained, it happens to the best of us.
Coincidentally, he's also had a baby.
Yes, separately. Yes, he's now dead.
The two are unrelated.
So, yes, in honor of Carl and his Forever Soiled clothing, who would like to play some Dungeons and Dragons and pick up not where we left off in the
Oh,
last session?
let's do it.
Yeah.
The world has been broken and remade. Our civilizations are shattered, our people divided. Yet there are those who would rise up to challenge the encroaching darkness.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Sir Carmichael Comstock, a Lorivar Cavalier fighter.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm playing Addy, a keeper druid bard.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Victor, a Lorivar Gloomstalker Ranger.
Hi, my name's Lane. I'm playing Milia Sayralast, an Asavar Divine Soul Sorcerer.
My name's Tim, and I'm playing Galena, the Terran Sprite Alchemist Artificer.
And my name is Dan. I will be the Dungeon Master on this adventure. Whilst our world has been changed, we band together. Hope bright in our hearts. We push forward to reclaim what was once ours, and we shall be known as the Explorers of Elsewhere.
A full 2 weeks have passed since the first explorers' expedition decided to set its roots on a seaside cliff formed during the Eschaton, and during those 2 weeks, the expedition has not been idle. Whilst many of the new townsfolk have busied themselves constructing the buildings necessary for the town to flourish, those more inclined to the wilderness have begun heading out into the local region, mapping, naming, discovering. Whilst the location is well chosen, with a ready food supply from the sea, there are more troubling stories to be had. The town finds itself with next to no usable food from the trip, having been ruined by some strange blight. Swathes of nearby trees are infected with brittle crystalline growths, and alarming bestial roars can be heard at night. These challenges have not dulled the spirits of the new townsfolk, however, who are more than ready to welcome you to New Prosper.
Hey, Prosper it is.
I feel like we should burst into a song.
Welcome to
You prepared the
Prosper.
song, right? That's and
I like that song in Shrek, isn't it?
Which one?
That one.
all of
Oh,
them.
you know, the
With the little
Smash
puppets.
Mouth one.
Yeah.
Somebody once.
No.
Yep.
No, it's just going to be New Prosper, New Prosper, New Prosper, New Prosper. And just that'll how it continues throughout the whole thing.
We find the explorers bobbing up and down, ever so uncomfortably.
Bobbing. Are we bobbing? Ah. We're in a boat.
Yeah.
As the four of you, minus Comstock, find yourselves in two small two-person fishing boats, slightly out to sea, in the shadow of the cliff of New Prosper. And there is a reason for this. So, over the space of the last fortnight, quite a lot of things have happened in what is now a fledgling town. The sounds of construction ring down over the cliff edge to your ears, but it's largely drowned out by the sounds of the sloshing waves and the what Addie now understands to be seagulls overhead. But you find yourselves on the water, picking up one of 3 tasks which you were asked to choose from. And in this moment, you find yourselves investigating reports from New Prosper's fishermen of creatures watching them from the sea. And Victor, as you peer up at the sun in the sky, and it is a glorious day today, the sky hardly blemished by clouds, you recognize that you've been out here a good number of hours. To the point where conversation between the 4 of you is now somewhat strained. And as you kind of lean back in on your uncomfortable wooden seats and just watch the waters glisten around you, your mind's cast back to what's happened over the past fortnight. So, starting off with Addie. Hello.
Hello.
As you look at Galena, who's currently got her head back and her mouth open, and she's making a small noise out of the sheer boredom that's enveloping her. What have you mostly been doing? What significant thing have you done over the past fortnight?
Addie has exhausted everyone with constant questioning about everything. You know, she comes from a small forest village where, you know, most of the homes have been sort of passed down through generations and have been sort of weaved from the sort of natural surroundings, the trees and the foliage. So she's never seen a town being built before. So she's been going up to everyone and asking everyone everything about the building techniques, about the roofing, just everything. You know, she's just been so curious. You know, she'd never seen someone like do carpentry before, really. People didn't really cut wood back in the forest. They weaved it, or they manipulated it in other ways, or they talked to it until it, you know, did things for them. So to actually see people work tools even was just a massive shock to her. And she's also been, you know, firing questions at everyone in the group about everything, about their lives, about you know, how they sort of saw themselves in the town. Yeah, and everyone's probably just a little bit annoyed at her at this point. And in fact, Galena, she still hasn't stopped her questioning. Galena, da 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 da. No, it wasn't like that. Da 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 da. Oh. Galena, have you ever had this thing where you've got the shape of a song in your head, but you can't quite remember the tune or where it came from? I just... Da, da, da. Does that sound like anything to you? Does that sound familiar?
You've asked me that 4 times this week.
It does
And every
sound
time you
familiar.
hum it, it's a little bit different.
I know. I just no. I keep having this reoccurring. I don't know. I can't really call it a dream because it doesn't just happen when I'm asleep. It happens when I'm awake, and I feel like I know someone. I feel like there's someone that I know and that I should remember, but I can't. And there's a song attached to that person, and I feel like if I can just remember the song, I can remember them, and I feel like there's something I should be doing, and I haven't really thought about it much because we've been on the road and everything's just been a bit crazy. But now we've sort of settled, and now I'm thinking about it all the time. And isn't there something you can like cook up for me? One of your little potions, something to remember.
Now, when you've been out in the wilds like this for a long time, some people don't handle it quite as well as others. If you need something to help calm you down a bit, I can probably brew something up.
It's not like that. I'm perfectly sane. At least I think I am.
I don't know if I agree, but I do believe you.
I don't know. Maybe it's all this water.
All right.
This water's making me nervous.
How
do you deal with
I
it,
could probably
Galena?
work on something.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Give it a crack.
That would be great.
Been pretty busy, but yeah, see what we can do.
Okay, that's great.
If I can make a horse talk, I can make you remember stuff.
Oh,
Probably.
don't remind me of Mr. Dribbles.
Well, think about
Feel a
him all
bit
the
sad
time.
about that. I know. If only we had the time to carve a monument to his name or something, or name an important structure in the town after him. I think it would really do him some justice. His sacrifice.
Tried
cast
making one out of
fireball
mud.
and burn their boat down.
You can't hear us. You can't stop us. Yeah, I'll give it a crack. No promises, though.
Thank you, Galena. I've got one more question. Do you think this place will prosper? No, it's an important question this time. I promise, not a silly one. Do you think you could call this place your home?
No, not yet. Anyway, still have a home somewhere out there. Until I at least know where home is, I can't call somewhere else that.
Yeah. That must be
How
nice.
about you? You always feels a little like you never felt too at home. At home.
No, I didn't. Not really. But also, I don't know about this place either. But also, I don't know. Maybe I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
Honestly, we've made it this far without all dying somehow, so
True enough.
who knows? Maybe we'll, maybe sooner or later we'll get so used to being here that we'll think it was home all along.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry about all the questions. My head's been a bit all over the place.
Honestly, I'd
Since
rather
we
you ask me
settled.
questions than I have to just sit here watching these fish.
To be
They're
honest,
not even good
it's more-
fish.
It's more to just I've never been around this much water, and I mean 2 weeks ago I'd never seen the sea, and now all that's keeping me apart from it is 2 inches of wood, and it's a bit nerve-wracking if I'm honest.
I don't love it myself. I mean, most of the water I ran into at home was, underground, just streams and such. It's a bit much for me, but At least I'm not up a cliff for once, so it'll do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or in a cave with invisible three-headed monsters.
Oh,
Anything's better than that.
yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll find something fun today as well, so...
Galena,
Hello.
as the conversation between you and Addy kind of dies down, you find your mind adrift, much like the two of you in this small two-person fisherman's boat. Thinking about home. And this is certainly not a new thought that's crossed your mind over the past fortnight. So what have you been doing? What significant events have happened for you?
I've mostly just been banging my head against these crystals, trying to figure out if I can get anywhere with my research. Making a little bit of progress, I think. Managed to get some interesting side effects out of them, at least. I think we've still got a bit of way to go, though. When I'm not being pestered by townsfolk who need remedies for stuff.
So certainly what you've discovered over your fortnight that you spent with them, spurred on by the flow of crystals that are coming from the Chimera's cave, which Haladradis has personally overseen the mining of, causing a relatively steady stream of crystals to make their way into New Prosper, and they're kind of being kept safe and protected.
I have been also bribing our guard friend to keep an eye on it.
Sure.
Whether or not he's being counter-bribed, who knows, but...
Well, when Haladradis approached you during that fortnight and asked you if you would be interested in co-working with her to investigate and examine these crystals, what was your response?
Yeah, I mean, she's going to be investigating these whatever, so I might as well at least be... Maybe I can pick her brains and see if I can figure out what on earth she's up to.
Sure. And that decision, I can imagine, was met with agreement from Comstock. But certainly, yes, over the space of the fortnight, your investigations have been curious and worrying in equal measure. Because you're absolutely right. The mana crystals have been in circulation throughout elsewhere long before the eschaton, but always in a relatively manufactured manner. Mana would be forcibly crystallized, usually by more powerful spellcasters, and then carved and sculpted. And you glance across to the other boat and you can see the sun reflecting off Victor's firearm rifle. And you know that manufacture of mana crystals, for example, like the one inside his rifle, that's been an uncommon but common practice. But these new crystals are growing naturally, and the primary, whilst they are fundamentally the same, they can do the same sort of thing. They look kind of the same. They remind you sometimes of large frost crystals on a cold morning that line the tops of windowsills and the like.
But if batteries started growing out of trees, it'd be pretty worrying.
Oh, absolutely. But also, they seem to grow. They seem to spread. You remember one morning coming into the laboratory, coming into the workshop to find one of the crystals on the wooden surface of the desk, and in the middle of what looked like a spreading puddle of small crystals of the same color, almost like it was changing the tabletop.
It's probably in that case at some point would have tried, when Addy wasn't paying too much attention, putting like an ant or something in some crystal overnight and seeing what happens.
In the morning, the vial contained only crystal.
Ooh. That seems bad.
And did you share this experiment with Haladradis?
I don't think it's something that she needs to know necessarily.
Okay.
No, I'm sure she can check if she wants to.
Sure. I mean, you've noticed that Haladradis herself seems quite perturbed by everything, and you've a point where you managed to steal a glance at the notes in her book, and you noted that the word that she'd circled multiple times was corruptive. And thinking back to your poor untimely aunt, you can see that she seems to be on the right lines, but perhaps she hasn't quite figured out the extent of it.
Same kind of thing happened with that chimeric abomination that we met.
Yes, it would seem so. The points where you hit a brick wall with your research, was there anyone you reached out to?
I could, I suppose, have reached out to our Dragonborn friend. I'm not sure if I 100% trust him yet either, so I probably would have been quite vague and just asked him if he knows anything about these crystals.
Okay. Was that presumably in a discreet, secluded conversation?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think I want him to know that I am working with Haladradis, and I don't think I want Haladradis to know that I'm talking to him. I think everyone is just fine as they are without knowing too much extra.
Sure. I mean, in which case, as you hold that manufactured pebble-like mana crystal in your hand, and you close your eyes and you whisper the name Atrak into it, the crystal glows and warms itself in your palm, and a few moments later, hello, Kalina.
Jack.
Oh,
How goes it, friend?
It goes well. I'm glad to see that this method of communication has worked as I had hoped it would.
Sorry I've not been in touch. Things have been a bit mad over here. We finally found somewhere to settle down.
Oh, you did? That is marvelous news.
Well, it's not where I'd have picked, but Haladradis seems pretty keen, so...
Ah, I see. Where was it that you settled on in the end?
It's a... Well, they're calling it a cliff top. It seems to be more of a rift. The land's kind of bisected, following the eschaton.
I see. It is certainly an eye-catching landmark with which to guide people in. It is good.
Well, I think it's mostly because there's a load of these mana crystals there, which Haladradis seems pretty interested in. And, well, honestly, I'm fairly interested as well. Been working on them for a while. Wondering if you know much.
I see. I have dabbled. Yes, I have some experience with these, as you may well have noticed. You can't see. I'm referring to the pebble with which we are speaking through.
Ah, yes, of course. So these I keep, every time I try and have them interact with organic matter, the matter just seems to, the crystal just corrupts it and overtakes it and combines it. I'm trying to figure out how to, if it can get it to reverse the process, or perhaps some way to use that to re-solidify something that's magical, but it just keeps tainting everything it touches.
Yes, I too have noticed the influencing properties of these wild mana crystals, and it is certainly something to be careful of. I have my hypotheses. I believe that with the correct, with the appropriate administrations and work, that they can be, for want of a better term, tamed. But
Well, if you got any ideas, sweat me ass off here.
well, I have some ideas.
And he's pausing. Like there's a silence. You can almost imagine him pinching his chin with his finger and thumb. And
Your Asavar friend, Milia. If I am correct, she is versed in divine arts. Yes.
Yeah, pretty good at it. Despite I don't think she believes it, but yeah, knows what she's doing.
I see. Well, between my hypothesis is that, as we know, arcane energies are inherently chaotic and destructive. But I must admit that I cannot say I've ever seen a divine mana crystal. Arguably, the mana that comprises divine magic is too solitary, too calm to be crystallized. But
Yeah.
if Milia is as proficient as I believe she is, but perhaps the tome with which she carries has some knowledge on it. It seems extremely important to her, and if she is as powerful as I believe her to be, then you may well find there are secrets that you could use in there.
The
You should have a
Hydrains
word with her
were
and report back.
the Hydrains were working with the crystals. Maybe you know, they are followers of one of the divine dragons. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. Yeah,
Quite
it's
possibly.
totally out of my area of expertise. I never thought about it.
Mm.
I'll talk to Mel.
Have a word with her, and then let me know what she says. It would have been. She's a curious character, and I would love to get to know her better.
Me too. Well, stay well, Atrak.
You too, Galena. You too.
How do I turn this off?
You just press the button. Press the button.
But
No, you hang up. You hang up.
okay.
right. Sorry, Addy.
So yeah, the memory of this conversation kind of floods in, and the idea that these crystals could, like your original plan, seeing if you could harness the mana crystals, seems to have hit a roadblock with the fact that they are so destructive, so corruptive. But yeah, you think back to the glimmer of hope that Atrak's words gave you. And as you kind of phase back into the present, you realize that Addy is once again kind of mid question, like mid fanciful musing, and you panic because you realize you've missed all of the context. But as you desperately begin to try to catch up with what she's saying,
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Victor, what have you been doing over the past fortnight?
Victor has mostly been out foraging for food, trying to feed the camp, accompanied by, what's her name? Frinka, yeah. They've been going out, both of them trying to scavenge food. And he's also been on the lookout for a beast that he's been tracking.
Sure.
Trying to find signs of it.
It's so the town of New Prospect has been very thankful for yours and for yours, Frinker's, and the other hunters' efforts to find food. In fact, the sea, being as bountiful as it is pretty much been the only lifeline that, the largest lifeline that the town has had, because soon after the expedition stopped and started setting up, news of the food supplies being utterly ruined quickly spread like wildfire through the townsfolk, causing a spirited calming of panic from Haladradis, Davin, Comstock, and the others. But you managed to steal a look at the food, and sure enough, like the bags of grain which were split open, the grain had almost mulchified, almost sludge-like. You know, the bottom of your food recycling bin. After a week, it had become rancid. The meats had spoiled. All the fruit had rotten as well. All of the supplies that this caravan seems to have brought with them, utterly rotten. And in fact, as you were thinking about it whilst on hunt, in the first few days, there was a concerted effort to get the fishing lines set up, and a number of large bounties, like fishing bounties, were brought back, so the fish could be kind of smoked and cooked for longer term consumption. And to the horror of some of the fishermen, all of the fish that was more than a day or two old began to also turn rancid. So the daily efforts of the fishermen bringing fresh food, and your efforts along with Frinker to bring fresh wild stock and fresh kind of vegetation and berries that you find out and about, seems to be the only thing that you're able to eat. Anything longer than a day old seems to go bad.
Very strange. Whilst you're on the boat, come on, Milia, row faster! What are you doing, girl?
We're not supposed to be rowing anywhere, are we?
Okay, wait, I've got this one, don't worry. I spy with my little eye
Fish.
something starting with S.
Sea.
No, close, but no.
Ocean.
No, wrong again. It starts with a C, but with an S.
I guess this goes on.
Yeah.
Victor, one of the other trips where you took the time to kind of branch away from the rest of the party under the excuse that I think I heard something. Frinker came across you doing something peculiar on your own in the woods. You seemed
like carving a stick, Dan.
She approached.
Seriously, carving my stick.
Victor, what are you doing?
There was just a mushroom there I was interested in, but it's not edible.
Huh. She looks around, and I don't quite understand what it is that brought you here. There are no discernible tracks apart from your own. And are you feeling okay, Victor? You seem very... And she's looking at your tracks. Very heavy-footed. Are you eating Are you eating okay? Have you been to the loo this morning?
Yes, don't worry. Even in my old age, everything is fine. It's just, it's a lot of work feeding the whole camp.
She puffs out her cheeks, and whilst your relationship was originally somewhat gladiatorial and competitive, through sheer necessity, you found that the two of you have grown slightly closer, given that you're some of the primary, like food givers, like gatherers for the camp, for the town.
Victor will.
Dodgeman, let's keep going, Frinka. There's nothing here.
She nods, and have you as you're walking back, have you found any more clues for this mythical beast that you're tracking down?
The Beast of Kassar?
Yes.
No, sadly not. It's a very dangerous beast, though. We should be careful.
I'm so confused. You seem very far from home. What is it that this beast has done? Is it big and is it juicy? Is it covered in meat? Are we going to eat well from it? Is this why you're so excited? Because if you need some help, you can just ask.
I mean, potentially, but it's so much. I am tracking the beast, and the beast is tracking me. If you see what I mean.
Oh, do you think is it one of those ones we hear here in the moonlight?
Yes, something like that. It's got fangs like daggers, skin as hard as plate or mail, and eyes in many places.
She looks to you with this, like, with a raised eyebrow, and okay, she says, as she kind of sucks on her teeth. And well, if I happen to see what looks like a spider crossed with a rhino, I'll let you know.
It's a true story. I'll tell you about it one day. The Beast of Kassar.
I look forward to it, she says. And yeah, as you look back, what was it that you were working on before you were interrupted?
So if anybody else was watching, they would have noticed Victor leave a mark with his knife on a tree trunk, and then just walked away.
Okay. In which case, Victor, as you kind of lean back against the back of the boat and you tip your hat down so it keeps the sun out of your eyes, and you put your feet up.
Keep rowing, Miliak! Faster!
I think you need to get your memory checked out. You literally just said this 2 minutes ago. We're not rowing.
Milia.
That's me.
How have you been doing over the past fortnight? Where has Milia found herself?
So, in kind of a sidestep to what she was initially brought on to do, instead of becoming like the spiritual leader of the expedition, she's kind of become like the emotional center of it instead.
Oh.
Instead of like bringing the dragon's will out and being this religious figure that's sort of bringing them all hope, and as was probably intended, she's kind of taken on a lot quieter role, but still very similar. So very openly invited people to come to her whenever they're feeling down, so they can just sit there and talk it out. And been there when people needed her. And it's just been a lot of that. Very quiet. Almost introspective, sort of standing around. And she's also been doing one or two things on her own, but...
So how has it felt? How did it feel when, as the designated holy person on the expedition, that you were presented with your own, larger than everyone else's, tent? Like, fair tent. We're talking like blue and white stripes. Like vertical stripes.
Overwhelming. A little bit. And she sort of kept with it for maybe a day or two, and then it became she sort of tried to have it half sectioned off, and half of it became you can come into this this half of the tent whenever you want.
Sure.
For everyone, and if I'm here, I will help you.
Sure.
And you don't need to. There's no judgment or anything. I will help you if I can. And the rest of the half of it is her own little area, which is probably still the same size as everyone else's tents.
Sure. Was there anyone in particular in the camp that came to see you that you were kind of surprised came to see you?
Victor came way too many times for and the slightest issue is like, you know what, my water horn, I lost it. But you know what, I can find it.
Picks
he
it up
walks out.
from the floor. You keep dropping it around. I'll just leave it on the floor for when he's here next. It's fine.
Addy has also abused this a lot.
Oh, God.
Just coming in and just asking the most ridiculous, like, how long do you think it'll be before we get babies, Milia? Not you and me personally, necessarily, but like towns. To have towns, you need people, and we've got the people, but then to keep the towns going, you need babies. So when do you think the baby's going to start coming?
You know what? I think Comstock is working on that.
Who do you think's going to have the first baby? Do you think it's Victor? That's a good point, actually, because I'm assuming in this Victor's also here, annoying the hell out of you. Do you think Comstock will be the first one to have babies? Who do you think he'll have babies with?
For the first question, at least 9 months for the baby.
Do Macevar have babies the same way that us keepers do? Do you have all the?
What does that mean? Yes.
Smash cut to outside, and you hear knock and bock. Oh, peering around, like listening into the conversation, and then scurry away.
You've also had literally anyone who has approached Galena for any reason that isn't directly related to her work to ask anything. She's like, "Yeah, Emilio saw that out. Go on, get out."
Very good.
Milia, was there anyone else that popped in?
I'm going to assume that Davin probably has at least once.
Oh, God. He's there every day, isn't he? He's crying.
Having a little cry.
There's a lot on his shoulders, and if my read on him from the very start was correct, neither of us are good at this. Neither of us are sort of good at being here. We are both out of our depths, but I can hide it better.
You've certainly developed a closer bond with Davin. Yes, originally masked as I'm just hello. Yes, I just want to see how you do. Oh, I love what you've done with the place. Yes, very very good. Did you grow this grass yourself? Oh, very very good. Yes.
No, but I did make a seat covering on the chair.
Oh, that looks very 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 talented. Yes. Okay, and then he sort of taps the table, see it a worryingly high number of times, and then turned around and left. And then came in every day since.
Yep.
And yes, you over the space of the 14 days, you certainly started to hear a lot more about the man that is Davin Dram. And given that his backstory is very much rich boy, rich family, rich upbringing, rich opportunities, everything handed to him on a platter, to the point where you've deduced that yes, absolutely, he's been allocated to this because he's got access to daddy's purse strings. But it seems, something you've noticed is it seems that Davin is the only one that doesn't truly appreciate appreciate that, but he still certainly feels the effects of it.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, it was. I mean, how was I supposed to know that there was another gala ball booked the same day? I mean, it was just a complete waste of money. It was do you know how difficult it is to get 13 crates of doves? It's just silly.
13?
Silly. 13, yes. Do you think that was it? Did I get an unlucky number of boxes of doves? Oh, I'm such a fool.
You're not
That's
a
why.
fool. You just did what was expected of you.
But perhaps if I didn't get 13, then perhaps the marriage betrothal would have gone ahead as planned. Oh, I should probably write her a letter and tell her that it wasn't meant to be 30. Or maybe it's supposed to be. I'll say that there was supposed to be 14 boxes of doves, and one of them got lost in transit. Maybe they.
There was a mix-up. There was supposed to be 12, but considering you had such a good working relation with them, they gave you an extra for free.
Yes, that sounds. Yes, I'll do. Just I don't know where she is anymore. The world doesn't look the same anymore.
If you describe who she is, what she looks like, and what her name was to Haladradis, maybe draw a picture, Haladradis may be able to reach out with magic for you.
And as Davin's eyes light up, a shadow in the doorway says, "I didn't realize you were selling my services now, Milia."
There's a suggestion.
And Haladradis walks in, and it's the sight before you, because it's kind of early evening, is quite disarmingly alarmingly disarming, disarmingly alarming, one of the two. Because Haladradis is dressed in what can only be described as casual evening wear.
What the fuck?
And she puts a hand on Davin's shoulder and, "Are you worried about her again?" And he looks a bit sheepish and Haladradis kind of gives you a side-eye smirk, Milia, and turns back to Davin before saying, "Why don't you draw a picture of her and we'll see what we can do about ascending."
There we go, see?
And he, that sounds great. And he sort of like sits there a moment too long, and you almost notice Haladradis' hand like grip his shoulder to then lift him out of the seat. And he, and he kind of looks to you, and I'll get right to it. Thank you, Milia. Good to see you, Haladradis, and I'll see you. Oh, that bottle of wine. Oh, marvelous. And Davin kind of scurries out. And as he does, you hear him shout out, "Has anyone got any parchment? Has anyone got any parchment?"
Knock and bark do.
And Haladradis watches him leave and then turns to you and takes a seat opposite you at your little kind of counselling table. Or is it a sofa? Counselling sofa?
This is a change of pace. Are you okay?
Well, as good as one could hope to be, yes. And as she says that, she places what appears to be a wine bottle on a nearby table between the two of you. Noteworthy because it's the first time you've seen a wine bottle since leaving on this expedition. And she notices you notice it. And I feel bad. It's part of my personal stash. There's not enough for the whole town. Everyone would just get a drop if we were to share it out amongst ourselves, but it seems a waste for just one person to drink from it. So you've done such a good job with the town, I thought it would be prudent to share it with you.
Oh, thank you.
If you got a tumbler or a cup.
Yes. I will sort of reach down. There's probably like a very bad makeshift cabinet that someone knocked up in like you've got nothing to put a candle on. Here, have this. It's like, oh, okay. There's probably like 2 pretty worn or used cups that she's liberated
Sure.
from one of the other caravans.
And as you place them down, Haladradis reaches into sort of like a pocket, like a dress pocket, and she produces the turquoise orb that normally is attached to the top of her staff, and she kind of like spins it in her fingers, and it rotates in the palm of her hand. As she looks at these little cups that you've placed down, and you watch as the dirt and like accumulated grime just kind of disappears out as she prestidigitations it away. And she places the orb back in her pocket, and she pours you the two wines, and she holds a glass to do a little cheers with. The town is coming along. I'm glad. You've certainly been a bedrock with which we can all rely on, and I'm greatly thankful for it.
I've just done my best. I just saw people needed help, and I'm not that good at anything apart from making locks and other fiddly little things like that. And what I can do is talk to people and use my presence as a comfort. So that's what I realized that I could do. So I am.
And a fine job you're doing. And you notice that she seems... Haladradis has always usually been quite quiet, quite reserved, but still very kind of reserved in what she says, but certainly forthright in, but also forthright at the same time. Everything that comes out of her mouth seems to be very kind of calculated and concise. That aura of kind of confidence that she normally exudes, bordering on arrogance. Well, it's not bordering, like full on depth into arrogance.
Yeah.
Seems to be diminished in this moment as she takes a mouthful of the wine, and you watch as she kind of swills it in her mouth a few times before drinking. Do you miss Glasmere? Do you miss how life was before everything?
Of course I do. I am entirely in this situation because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But we have to do... When the world ended, no one knew what would happen. We all had to sit and find out what would happen with the new hands we were dealt. This is a hand I was dealt. I'm just trying to make the best of it. Not just for myself, but for everyone else as I can as well.
She nods. You and I, we're surprisingly alike, I've realized.
I got that feeling when we first left to... When we were first defending the camp. I think I realized that as well.
It is sometimes difficult to make the decisions that need to be made when you know that those around you will be unlikely to acknowledge the context and the why of your decisions, but knowing that they have to be made all the same. I trust that, given your profession as a locksmith, you did not have to endure the horrors of the Dragon's War.
No, not really. I've been through my own personal horrors, but the war itself was skipped largely by, thanks to where I lived. The Aegis kept Glasmere safe.
Yes. Safety, that was a fine and honourable concept
once upon a time, was it not? I fought on the front lines. I was unusual in comparison to the other wizards that I led. I led my armies from the front because that was the best place to get the relevant information and intelligence that we needed in order to defeat our foes. But despite that, I saw some truly horrifying monsters. The Chimera, it reminded me of the savagery and the depravity that some of these soulless people would drop to. I'm glad we won, but my heart still aches from those we lost along the way.
Losing people is always hard, and I've come to accept that even if we do come across Glasmere again, if and when we move out again, I've accepted that I may never see my family ever again. So I know the feeling of loss, certainly, but we have to keep going. If not for ourselves, for everyone else.
If you had the opportunity to find those who were taken from you, is there ever a point where your conscience could stop looking?
Couldn't do it myself. Because if I ever found my family, my mother, my parents, if I ever found Platinum again, if I ever found them again, that would be putting them in far more danger than I am willing to.
Well, perhaps you might be happier aiding me then. I lost a sister during the war. There was a betrayer, warlord, an Arcani cultist. He stole her away from me. Some dark bargain, some dark sacrifice, I suspect. And I did everything I could to get her back. But she died in his captivity. I still wonder what I could have done different to prevent this, but I also find myself asking what I can do to change it. Perhaps these crystals will provide us an answer.
This may sound strange, but even... Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you think that she would be proud of where you are now? Because I think so.
Halajardis thinks for a moment, and you see her eyes begin to glisten.
As soon as I see that, I will use my own prestidigitation to sort of shut the door to the tent. Look at where you are now. You are making the first steps out into the world. You along with Davin have brought all these people together. And you're making a difference so positively in people's lives. Even if you don't think anyone else is proud of you, they are.
She nods. Thank you, Milia. I will. Your words have steeled my resolve. I will continue on this rightful path. If not for me, for Aurelia. She
you go.
smiles softly, and a gathered tear rolls down her cheek, and she closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then just very kind of mechanically wipes a tear away and opens her eyes, and it's kind of back to the old Haladradus. The Majani stands, taps the top of the wine bottle, and kind of looks to you with a slight smile, and then makes her way out of the tent.
Oh, I've not drunk in years. Oh.
It is strong. Okay. Was there anyone else that you spoke to?
I would have obviously, maybe not. Try to get to have known Frinka as much as possible. Aside from that,
I
one
tell
night.
you what, he is the weirdest old man to go hunting with. I just don't understand it. Like, why does he not use a bow? Why does he have a gun? Like, you bang, and then everything runs away. It's just, but no, good to be together.
I don't understand him at all.
I swear, he's got iron boots. He leaves such big footprints.
It's baffling the way his mind works, I swear. He is an incredible shot and an incredible hunter, but I don't understand how his mind works.
Maybe he was dropped on his head as a baby. You know, when the dragons were being born.
You might be right, sir.
I didn't know Lorivar could get that old. But yes, you certainly were able to spend a lot more time getting a lot closer to Frinka.
And one night, in the absolute dead of night, when I'm certain no one is going to be able to hear me,
Bang!
I go over to Victor, take his gun, and just
Put him out of his misery.
I will sit on the bedroll or whatever I have. Take the book in my hands and try and reach out to Urixala.
Okay.
Who is Urixala? Do you know?
So-
Do you know who? Do you know who it is?
As the full moon's light shines through the little window slit on the side of your tent, illuminating the book as you start to unbind the belt, the two belts that now hold it closed. And the smell of age hits your nose as you open the tome and start flicking through the dry pages. You watch as the beam of lunar light begins to darken. And as you notice it, you look back and find yourself in this dark, inky void. Hello, Milia. It's been so long, I thought you'd forgotten me.
I never will.
Why do you come to my door at such an early hour of the morning?
Well, that's a bit of information I didn't know before. Wherever you are subject to my time as well. I wanted to reach out to an extent. You talked to me once when I was near death, and well, I have questions. I'm sure you do.
Well, if you have questions, I have answers. As long as you are happy to respond in kind,
Of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
then ask away, for I am a gracious host.
Who are you? First off, I know your name, but I don't know who you are.
There's a pensive silence. Presumably, Uruxala is thinking of how to respond.
That's a good sign.
I have no physical form. I am nothing. I am everything. I am something in between. I fear there is no word in your vocabulary that can describe what I am. Besides Uruxala. But if you allow it, I could be a friend.
As that segues into my second question, then. What do you want? This is not just a in-the-moment thing. This is an overarching, what do you want?
I've dwelled in darkness for so long, I've lost context of what else there is. What I want is to help you. I feel the pain that courses through your soul, and I want to heal you. I want to see you safe. I want to protect you from that which would do you harm. A noble pursuit. No.
It would be if I believed that.
Well, you are guardian of this tome. Arguably I am the tome, therefore you are my guardian.
I am not your guardian, I am your jailer.
You are a jailer of your guardian, perhaps. That is an odd position to be in, a peculiar place to be. But I'm here, Lilia, your servant.
If you're here to protect me, then why did your people try to sacrifice me?
Oh, Lilia, they are not my people. They are misguided, dull-witted fools who do not know what they dabble in. They are children playing with fire. But you do know what you're doing. You do know of what we are capable of. And that is why I'm happy to help.
You said I would respond in kind.
If you need help again, Lilia, will you have the courage to ask for it? You don't even have to say it out loud. You just have to think of it. I've saved you once before. I'm happy to save you again. Will you let me?
Otherwise, if otherwise it would all end, then yes.
There are dangers out there, Amelia, that would snuff your light's candle out in an instant. And I'm here to shelter you, as you shelter me.
We're going to be together for a long time. So.
Dear Amelia, I'm counting on it.
With that, I'm going to try and pull myself out of that space.
And the light from the moon illuminates your surroundings. So, Melia, as you're thinking back on those conversations,
This is a brief button on the end of that, I think.
yes,
As that was happening, Galena has probably, in the middle of the night, approached slowly Milia's tent.
Mm-hmm.
Gone to open the flat, heard that she's already talking to someone inside. And just thought, no, this is stupid. And go back to bed.
No.
Okay.
You're just about to get murdered.
Everyone, roll me perception checks.
Ooh.
Hey,
I love perception checks.
are we on the boats?
Perception.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
So, Addy, you're fixated. You're transfixed on Galena. As you ask a question, Galena, you're distracted by it. Addy.
Wait, Galena, I have this thought. I mean, if you're a like earth spirit elemental thing, like what are your insides made of? I hope that's not too personal a question. But like, are you just all like mud and clay in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Or-
sure.
So, while that's conversations happening on one boat, Victor, you notice that Milia's soul appears to have left her body as she just is staring at the waves as they ripple past the boat.
Kind of unironically enjoying myself. I lived in a coastal town.
Yes.
I'm enjoying being out here, just letting the time go by.
Victor, you hear a almost imperceptible bloop, and you, like with your rockin' 23, you peer over and see what looks like a little wet blue head, like a blue-grey, like bluey slate-grey coloured head. What appear to be the tops of like two little finned ears poking out over the water's surface, and then these large bulging eyes peer at you, and as like you look at the top half of this little face that's just poked out of the water, and you notice that one, like its left eye that just looks off at the other boat whilst its right eye is seemingly scanning yours, and its right eye like turns to notice you looking at it, and it disappears under the water. You then, as you kind of think, what on earth was that? You all start hearing bloop, 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 bloop,
Huh?
as a number of little creatures emerge
Kind
from
of
the
cute.
water surface.
Oh my god, they are just little
Uh,
creatures.
In an ugly way, they're kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like
And
pugs.
everyone
Pugs of the
roll
sea.
me. Everyone roll me nature checks. Disadvantage for Addie because she's never been near the seaside before.
I suspect
Uh,
I've probably not been to
nature?
the ocean much either, so I'll probably take disadvantage
You've
as well.
had books. So.
I've had
16.
books. Days.
Ooh,
Well,
Also
3
16.
16.
19.
The
Galena,
power
you
of
ruined it.
books.
What?
The
Okay.
power of being fucking nerds.
So 16, 16, 16,
Also,
19.
At
Yeah.
the sight of them, Addie has pulled out her little notebook and is doing like a little sketch of this little creaturey thing.
Gotcha. In which case, as they pop above the water, you recognize them as croaks. Little, relatively unintelligent sea creatures. And they appear just to be watching you. And you can see them sort of like treading water under the water's surface. And you kind of think, oh, is this who the fishermen have seen? Just watching them. And then one of them approaches Galena's and Addie's boat. And as it gets right up to the side of your ship, and it's kind of giving you the weirdest kind of puppy dog croak face. And yeah, when I say its eyes bulging, it's like, you know, the Griffiths Russell kind of dogs, like the eyes cannot be contained by its skull. And it looks up to you, specifically you, Addie, and it kind of holds on to the, like, with his webbed kind of froggy like fingers. It kind of like grabs onto the side of the boat and kind of peers up and like brings its
Oh my
face up to the
gosh.
side and it says,
Oh, I know what that face means. I don't even need to try and speak with animals to understand that. And I get my little pouch of good berries out, and would have cast them this morning, as I do every morning, and like you do. I don't know if anyone's ever like fed a koi fish, but just like you feed a koi fish, I'm just gonna hold it flat in the palm of my hand. There you go. Be gentle.
Okay, catch it quick, then we can eat it.
No!
As you hold this like goodberry in your hand and you go to offer it, the little croak, like his eyes seeming to get bigger and bigger as your hand gets
You're
closer and
so
closer.
cute.
And like as you hold your hand there offering it, it looks to you and like its fangs come out, and as it like jumps out the water at you, let's grab a break.
Ah,
Oh.
Galena, quick, catch it.
See you in a bit.
Ah!
Right.
Hello, DM Dan from the future here. By the time you're watching this, you may or may not have watched the relaunch of Tavern Between Dimensions, our now fortnightly sit and talk live stream, where a group of us nerds get together for a Friday night down the pub. In case you missed it, you can now watch the recordings of the live streams when we release them on Wednesdays. And in our first episode, we talk about hitting 250 subscribers and how the campaign's gone so far for myself and the other players. So, I implore you to come and visit, grab a seat, and enjoy the hospitality of the Tavern Between Dimensions. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Roll initiative.
Oh, what?
Aw.
I thought they were friendly, Dan.
Oh, who saw that coming?
Yo.
Now we're definitely eating them.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I tried to befriend the seagulls, and that didn't go well. And I've tried to befriend these little weird pugfish things, and that hasn't gone well. And do you know what? Fuck the ocean, guys. It's the worst. Let's go back to the forest.
I mean,
Emilio will
they
remember
may-
that.
they may be a protected species, but you know this is a survival situation, so it's fine.
Yeah, nah. Fuck the ocean.
So, Victor with a 20, Milia 17, Galena 11, Addie with a 6. So, go Victor, go.
Yeah.
You've just heard come from sort of like
Do the
and-
Murdoch noise, Dan. Do the Murdoch noise.
Yeah, that's what
Addy
I was
and-
thinking.
Addy and Galina's boat, and Addy just let out as this small little kind of 2.5 foot tall fish thing, like aquatic creature, has leapt out and has got his mouth open and is honing in on her hand. You've noticed that there are 3 of these creatures kind of circling your boat with Milia, and there are 2 others flanking Addy and Galina's boat. What do you do?
I'm gonna Hunter's Mark.
Uh-huh.
One of them, the one behind me, I guess. Cast, consume. Okay, yep. I'll Hunter's Mark this one. I'm gonna shoot once.
Mm-hmm.
Attack normal. Done. That's a crit fail. But I'm a Lorvar.
Hey.
You are a Lorvar.
Oh yeah.
Did Foundry just make a little fart noise?
Little fart noise, yeah.
Sure did.
18 to hit is a hit.
Plus 1d6. Normal. 16 points of mucho damage.
Okay. So, this little creature like jumped up towards Addy. And like in a blink of an eye, as they start emerging, you spun round and like whack-a-moled this thing with your rifle. And its head like explodes into giblets, like its fins flop either side. It's just like where its two boggling eyes like look in your direction as you pull the trigger, and it and like everything stops.
Okay.
As the 16 damage, right?
Yeah.
As the thing just straight up dies as you blow its head apart. And like the other Croaks look at the one that's just been shot and then look to you, and like their eyes just start quivering, and then they all start sort of like cheering, and you see one of them like dip under the water, and like as bits of giblet like meat start floating in the water. Anything else, Victor?
Can I shoot a second one?
No. Oh yes, you can. Yes.
Yeah, on the first round of initiative, I can take
Because
2
of your
shots.
Gloom Hunter ability. Yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to take a second shot and shoot another one because food, right? 16th hit.
That's a hit.
Now, I think it adds. I add a D10 to this or something like that.
Extra D8.
D8. Okay. So damage. 1d8. Well, 17 points of damage.
Okay. And then which one is it you're shooting at?
Let's say it's the one in front of Milia.
The one in front of Milia. Okay. In which case,
Hello, kitty.
Busy.
Oh, cute.
in which case, this croak that's like waving its little spongy hands around, then like explodes like a meaty pinata.
Okay, I need to shoot them a bit better because we're not getting a lot of meat.
I'm not
Croaks.
eating that.
The Croaks, Galina, Addy, you watch as the one that's just leapt out the water come like arcs through the air as your outstretched hand, and it goes to bite at you, Addy, for 14 to hit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it hits. It
Just
hits.
a hit. And you, as this thing clamps onto your fingers, like it bites into your palm for 4 damage.
Oh god.
Aww. Do you know what? Everything in the ocean sucks.
And it stays like it. You watch its throat as it. You feel this slimy tongue, like lick the goodberry out of your palm, and you watch its throat as this goodberry-sized shape moves down its throat, and then it's just like still hold it like clamped onto your hand as you try to wave it, and it's just flailing around, attached to your palm. But like its 2 boogly
This
eyes.
thing over me.
One's fixed on you and one's fixed on Galena, and no matter how you shake it, the eyes like stay focused on the two of you.
Oh.
Separately, the other two, like they've been cheering because one of them's just been blown up, but they swim up to your boat, and in celebration, they begin to rock it. Galena and Addy, can I please have dexterity saves?
Oh no.
Oh no, you really can't. Oh, 16.
Yes, I can.
That's not too bad, actually.
You made of rocks, though.
21. Yeah,
Okay,
and you're made
so-
of meat.
Addy can't swim. Addy can't swim at all.
Oh, shit.
So you've got one in the ship with you, find them in the boat with you, but the other two are out, and they start rocking your boat to and fro. Neither, like the two of you managed. Well, Addy, you managed to like plant your hooves and grab the side of the ship, but neither of you kind of get knocked in. But these things don't seem. They don't seem malicious in any way. They just seem to be rocking your boat. And Victor, over on the other side, there's a little bloop, as from amongst the splattered head of the first Croak you shot, the one that dipped under the water like rises up, just eating bits of meat, and looking really pleased with itself.
Amazing.
Milia, what do you do?
I bless on everyone apart from myself.
Hey.
This situation calls for mass buffing.
I don't know what's going on.
You can hear Annie screaming, because there's this thing
The sea!
latched to her hand. Cool. Everyone's blessed. Anything else, Milia?
Nope. That's it.
Okay. Galena, your boat is currently being rocked by these two Croaks. One's attached to Addy. What do you do?
Okay. I don't like this. Alright. I've used a little bit of the spare time we've had to rig up my poison spray apparatus to the underside of my arm, because carrying that little puffer around was just getting really inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
So, I reach out my hand to one of the ones that's rocking the boat, as though I'm gonna feed it something, and then I flick my hand down and blast it in the face with poisonous gas.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. You're like a poisonous Spider-Man.
Need that. Exactly, that's way better.
On a con save.
AC 14 con.
The Croak rolls a 6.
Beautiful.
So, as you look over the side of the boat and this thing it looks up to you,
6.
right in the face, and it as it's as these gelatinous kind of eyes start like melting slightly and sagging, and like they just start to like almost seemingly fall out of what could be constituted as eye sockets. It takes 6 damage.
Not meant to do that.
Yeah, the slowest dissolving that you've ever seen. Anything else, Galena?
I don't know. No, I suppose not.
Okay. Addy, you have a Croak on your person, and your boat. The boat's not being shaken as much because Galena appears to be dissolving one of them. What do you do?
Okay, I cast Shillelagh on my staff as a bonus action.
Yeah, beat it.
And just holding it up in the air on my fist, go, no more good berries for you, you little shit, and just whang it.
Okay, yeah, roll to hit.
Okay, alright, I will do this. Do a thing. Come on, hurry up. Okay.
Hey!
Yes!
Mucho damage.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus! It's a pinata.
Okay, with a crit. Roll for damage.
Yeah.
17.
17.
Oh my god. And as you you little shit, and as you twat this thing so hard. Like- so you smack it in the side, you smack it in the eye, which kind of caves in as the staff comes in, and like the druidic power kind of courses up the staff, and Galena, you're covered in goo as this eye like pops and bursts like a bubble, spraying you with its contents.
No.
And like you,
Sorry, Galena.
you hear a soft, a very soft, very pitiful, wet cracking as you like collide your staff with its skull, and it like falls off your fingers. And as you look, you've just got a series of like pin-sized holes, like needle-like holes across the front, across your palm, and across the back of your palm. And as that one outright dies, the two in the one in the water that's not melting, like cheers, and like gnashes on to the one that's now in the water with one less eye, and starts chomping. Anything else, Addy?
No, not at this time.
Okay. In which case, Victor, you're next.
Yep. I'm gonna redirect the hunter's mark to the one next to us and do the shooty.
He's not doing anything.
Yeah, we'll screw him. It's like ducks.
Oh no!
Like, roll it again.
You gotta roll again.
Is it every
15
time
hits?
with the Larabar thing?
Plus a D4.
That's amazing.
It is very good. Okay, 17.
17's it. That's it.
Hey, sweet damage. It's a really good ability. Plus a D6. Yeah.
Oh yes.
I got 14.
14 damage. So as this one like is just eating bits of its companion, like a goldfish that swam to the top of its bowl, you little shit, and there's another like explosion of giblets.
You know, I'm not doing a very good job with the meat here.
That one wasn't even doing anything.
My bad.
Anything else, Victor?
I'm done, yeah.
Okay. In which case, Addy, the one that's by you, so the one that's not melting, bloop, like disappears under the water, carrying the one that you've just clubbed to death. You see, like, you feel something, boom, like hit the bottom of your boat, and then it, bloop, like resurfaces at Victor's and Milia's boat. It then like leaps out of the water like a dolphin. And Victor, can you give me a contested grapple check, please? Do you want to use strength or acrobatics or dexterity?
Acrobatics.
Okay, so it's going to use athletics, and you're going to use acrobatics, yeah?
That's right.
Okay.
So just roll. Oh, okay. I click on the thing. Do it. Normal. Hey!
Okay.
Victor beats him back with his rifle.
So you watch as this thing emerges out of the water, like a face of contented joy, and it reaches out with its little stubby, spongy fingers, and appears to be going for your hat. And as you like smack it in the side of the head with the butt of your gun, and it knocks to the side, and it sploop, just kind of lands in the water at the back of the boat.
Sweet.
Milia, what do you do?
Looking out. Well, with reports investigated, the fishermen were correct. There were people, things watching.
Yeah, okay, kill it. Quickly.
And just sit back in the boat.
Okay. Okay.
You
Galena.
have my blessing, Milia. These things are the worst.
Oh, wait, sorry. I beg my pardon. I forgot the one that's melting. It climbs into the boat with you, Galena.
Gives you a hug.
Oh,
And it will also attempt to grapple you. Do you want to use athletics or acrobatics to avoid it?
Oh no, I don't think I'm very good at either of those. I'll acrobatics it, please.
Acrobatics, okay. So yeah, the Croak that has climbed into the boat with you rolls a 10.
No!
You roll a 21, and as
Fuck off!
it comes for you, and you like pushing it away as it just whatever cellular makeup it is, and whatever poison puff your poison puff is, it seems to be breaking it down on a cellular level, but it's still cognate. So yes, Galena, what do you do?
I don't want this here. I'm just gonna poison it again, I guess, until it stops moving. That should work.
It's a bit like putting salt on a slug, right? That's basically what you're doing.
Maybe
so
not poison it, because that'll go in the
please.
water and then affect the whole ecosystem around it.
That's not my problem at the moment.
Okay, so it makes a con save. It fails on a 10.
Good. I just tweak a couple of nozzles, like, I'm gonna need more juice on this.
Okay, so as you like someone getting overexcited with like a wasp spray,
Oh god.
you watch as this creature like gets covered in the gas and goes through that melting sequence from like the first RoboCop film. just like flops backwards into the water and just turns into a puddle of chum. Anything else, Galena?
I'm just gonna take out a small battered tome that says Winthrop's Bestiary, quickly flick to a page, cross out all the descriptions and just write little bastards.
Okay. Addy.
I can have a sit down.
Addy, what do you do?
I hate the sea. I hate the sea. I hate the sea. Things with fur and feathers never, ever are this disrespectful. Only things with scales. I hate the sea. And oh, we've still got one more, haven't we,
There's
over
still
there?
one more, yeah.
How far away is it? 5, 10, 15, about 20, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to I'm actually going to cast Thorn Whip on it. Let's see if we can Thorn Whip. And go. Oh, I've cast it twice. Sorry.
To pull it closer towards you.
That's all right. I've got a thing for that. 19.
19 is a hit.
And damage is a 5.
5. Okay.
And that should bring it closer towards me. And as it comes close towards me, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh on my staff again.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
So you and it, like this creature's looking up at you, Victor, and there's a look of betrayal in its eyes as it gets wrapped around the neck and yanked across the surface of the water. Sorry, anything else, Addy?
No, not until my next turn.
In which case, this creature, so this Croak looks up to the and like it looks confused. Addy, there's one eye rotated to look at you, and the other eye is rotated to look at Victor. And it looks to you for a moment, and then like its eyes bulge out a little bit more as it kind of goes puppy dog eyes, and then its eyes open as it looks at you in shock, and then gets pulled under the water.
Oh.
And you feel your thorn whip tug with it, and he resurfaces, looks around a bit confused, and then and gets pulled under the water a second time.
Is it gone?
We've chummed the water.
And
Oh,
in
what-
its place,
Oh no! What the fuck is
you
that?
see it rise out of the water in what appears to be a large pincer, and there's like it's snipped in half, and the two halves of it fall back into the water. And yeah, what it looks like a very large lobster-like creature that you realise has a chitinous like a shell that seems to be studded with crystals emerges from the water.
Not again.
What the
nope.
fuck?
Nope. I want off this boat. Get me off this boat right now.
And it moves towards your boat, Addy and Galena,
Very good. Good choice.
Is it friendly?
and goes to snip at you with its second attack for 15 to hit.
No. Yes, that hits.
Okay, this creature snips you for 11 damage.
No, that's some. Oh, I hate the sea.
And Galena, you watch as this pincer like snaps around Addy, like around her midriff,
Oh, that's a problem.
and it seems to be locked in place. And you watch as Addy is dragged overboard into the water.
No. Right, whose idea was it to do this stupid request?
It is now. It wasn't grappling you when it took the multi-action. So, Victor, Addy has been dragged into the water. What do you do?
I'm gonna shoot it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make a sharpshooter shot. That took them feet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So the
hold on.
surface of the water matters little to you.
Okay.
-5 on that.
Oh my god.
Reroll.
Sorry, reroll it.
Reroll your third
Ridiculous.
one.
This is the third in a row, right?
Yes.
Something's wrong with. Okay. Okay. -5. I have to add a D4.
The sheer Laravar value.
Yeah, hashtag Laravar.
Been good. 17 to hit.
17 to hit is a hit.
Yes.
So your shot punches through the
Yeah.
shell of this
And I
thing.
move the hunter's mark to him. So that is mucho damage. Plus 1d6 and plus 10 afterwards. Okay.
Plus 10, yeah.
I'll do the plus 10. So it's 26.
26 damage. Holy moly. In which case, I think it's only fair that as you fire the shot and it strikes the creature on the elbow that's holding Addy, and it blows the arm clean away. And it sort of like it rears its head up and its tentacles fly around. And you watch as it waves this stump of an arm. Like the wound seems to, in inverted commas, cauterize, but with crystalline shards. Anything else, Victor?
Okay, Mia, run away. We're leaving Eddie behind. Good luck.
No.
Milia,
That's my turn.
Eddie, stay there. I can help. No, don't. You can run. It's fine. Pull the gilded dagger out from, like, my little sash I have it in.
Mhm.
Flip it over so the gem side is there. I'm gonna look over to the beast,
Mhm.
and I'm going to cast a spiritual weapon in between Addy and it.
Nice.
Okay. And what does your spiritual weapon look like?
It looks like a shield.
Okay. Okay, very good.
I'm gonna make the attack with it because I get to do that for free. What the fuck?
Oh my god. Shit.
Why are we getting so many nat ones?
So now that one.
Okay, well that's the cursed boat over there.
Yes. Okay. So this shield appears, and as it kind of swoops in to intercept, this thing in its flailing smacks it away with its other claw. Anything else, Melia?
No.
Okie dokie. Galena. Addie's like splashed down to the water with this pincer still kind of clasped around her midriff, her waist, but it's not attached to anything. And this, what appears to be like a glowing fizzberry, has just like bounced off this large lobster type thing. What do you do?
I think it's Addie's turn, isn't it?
No, Galena's turn.
Yeah. I am gonna grab out a little glass globe of powder. Smash it in my glove, and then chuck the powder over Addie. And it will settle on you, and like looking at you starts to kind of hurt. And I cast Sanctuary on you, making you hard to attack.
Okay. Sanctuary.
Bonus.
Okay, so if the creature wants to
pass
attack
wisdom
you,
save to attack Addie. Well, otherwise it needs to pick a new target.
amazing. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. While I've got my poison torqued up, I might as well keep using it. I'm gonna spray the fucker. So that's the con save 14, please.
Oh, Galena, please no, that's gonna ruin the ocean ecosystem, please.
Does this look like a good ocean ecosystem to you?
Do you want to die of food poisoning when the fish
can't
get
eat
I don't want to
wood.
die of crabs.
Hey, you've just got the druid flailing and going, I see.
As you shout this amongst yourselves, and like Galena, you like squirt this poison spray, the creature turns to regard you, seemingly unfazed.
Well, this is a problem. Ooh.
It seems like it's immune.
Immune, would you say?
Mm.
That is
No.
great news. Not resistant, eh?
Apparently, it is immune. So, anything else?
I'm going to lie down in the boat. I'm just
Okay.
gonna lie down and be like, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me.
In which case, Addie, you are now free from the creature. So its arm is still wrapped around you, but its arm is not attached to it. What do you do?
Okay. So pretty much the only thing keeping me afloat right now is that arm. Can I try and scramble back up into the boat?
Yeah, you're able to sort of like free yourself from the claw. I will require a athletics check to pull yourself into the
Okay.
boat.
We can do that.
So,
Oh, no we can't. That's a 9.
so you,
Sake.
okay, and as you do it, you go to push up. Like I suspect it'll be surprisingly hard to swim with hooves. But as you, like you pull down a bit too hard, and Galena, you. Ah! In fact, Galena, give me a dex save.
God bless.
Oh,
God bless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, Galena, you look at Annie as she starts rocking the boat, trying to get in. Okay, Annie, you're unable
30.
to.
Yeah, 22.
You're unable to make it in. You're still in the water, but at least you're freed from the creature's grip. Anything else?
I'm guessing that would have taken my action, wouldn't
That's
it?
your action,
Because I think it would have ended by now. I'm just gonna cast Shillelagh on my stuff.
Shillelagh lasts for like a minute at a time, I think. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep screaming, I hate the sea, I hate the sea.
Okay. In which case, the creature seems interested in Galena, and it swims towards hands. It brings one of its claws up and grabs the boat and begins rocking it, like throwing it around. Seemingly, it's trying to splinter the wood. It looks like it's trying to sink the boat that you're in. So unless it fluffs it, which it does not, it does 10 damage to your boat, and the wood like splinters under its grasp, and there's now a bit of a cut in the side of your ship.
Oh Jesus!
As it like the tentacles start to creep towards you, you can notice that they're flecked with little turquoise crystalline shapes. Victor.
Oh, good.
Treat. I'm gonna shoot it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a sharpshooter. Yeah, I am. -5, normal. That sucked. Plus a d4. 13 to hit.
Okay, and you go to aim, and as you fire the shot, and it ricochets off its shell.
Damn it. Bad shot. That's for turn.
Okay, Milia.
Okay, first off, bonus action, spiritual weapon attack.
Wee donk.
Yeah, I'm just doing it this way again.
Yeah.
17.
That is a hit.
Woo.
So your shield collides with the crack, the dent in its shell from Victor's arcane shot.
11 force damage.
And the creature is knocked away from the boat by 11 force damage.
This is going to be weird. I'm going to cast Levitate on the other boat.
Yay.
Okay. Yes. 20 feet up.
Yep.
Okay. And Galina, you grab onto the sides as this boat.
No!
And Addy, you watches this boat leaves without you.
I'm sorry. I thought you didn't want to die into water.
Okay. And like this creature watches, like is snipping with this one good pincer as you like rise up the water. The seawater kind of raining off its carapace.
That drops concentration on bless.
Okay. Anything else? Milia.
As part of my bonus action, I'm going to move the shield between the thing and Addy.
Okie dokie. Sounds good. In which case, Galina, you are 20 foot up.
Over their height, I'm in the fucking sea! Oh, okay.
Flying above
Boy.
the sea.
I sure am good at poison
Thank
damage.
you for getting you out of that situation, Milia. I'll tip the boat over.
Okay.
Can we switch boats? I go up and then you come down here. Is that better?
Right, I don't think I can do that without melting Addy.
Addy's having a pretty bad day today. She does not need to be melted, thank you very much.
What kind of spells have you got going on?
Now or never. I'm gonna drink my experimental elixir. Maybe it'll get me out of this situation somehow.
Okay. Yeah, roll twice.
Oh god.
Experimental elixir, the gift that keeps on giving.
Okay.
If you get Dragon's Breath again, I'm going to fucking shit.
Roll.
Oh no.
Roll.
Heroism.
Oh.
You count as being under the effects of heroism. And
Oh no.
Fox's cunning, which is advantage on intelligence saves.
Oh, it's intelligence.
This is very useful.
Alright.
Okay, so you are no longer frightened. You gain what's your intelligence mod? 4. So you gain 4 temporary hit points at the start of each of your turns, and you are no longer frightened. 20 foot in the air matters little for you now.
Nice.
It's sort of accomplished what you set out to achieve.
Ah, just water. Nice.
Exactly.
Anything else, Kalina?
I'll just say, bring him back down. We need to help Addy.
Speaking of Addy, you are currently in the water in the shadow of your ship, which is now 20 feet above your head. What do you do?
the sea. I hate the sea. I hate the sea. How far away is it?
Like it's a 5-foot swim will get you into contact with it.
Sod it! And I'm gonna try and flail up to it and give it a whack with the with my staff.
Okay. It will be disadvantage because you're in the water and it is aquatic.
Could I be really cheeky? Cheeky little cheekster. And because like bardic inspiration is a bonus action, right? Can I cast bardic inspiration on myself?
No.
Oh,
You're the wrong type of bard, unfortunately.
Boo. Okay. Well, it's all I can do, so I'm gonna try and hit it. Where's my staff? Oh.
So roll with disadvantage. You can put bardic
Still
on
a
someone
17.
else. Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you want to put bardic on someone else as an aside?
Yeah, I will actually, but I will hit the thing first.
Figure it out. Okay, so fueled by your rage, it attempts to like use the surface of the water to avoid your attack, but you just like, lamp it anyway.
Right,
you hit, roll for damage.
Shillelagh damage, so it is a 6.
6 damage, okay.
You horrible, horrible thing!
Okay, you skewer it. Like you stab at it and it kind of slides onto one of its chitinous pieces. And yeah, who would you like to bardically inspire?
I am going to bardically inspire Victor and essentially shout across to him, I swear, if you manage to shoot this thing and kill it, I will write a song about you. I will write a poem about you. I will put your name in the history books. Just kill it and get rid of it.
Victor, you notice as Addy's shouting this to you, the yellow powder that Galena covered her with seems to have washed off during the motion of making the attack. And the creature looks back to you, Addy, and makes one snip at you. It's only got one hand. 12.
My armor class is 12.
Which hits, so
shit.
as you're shouting, you turn around as it grabs you for 11.
Oh no, hang on, I was already down to that. I'm down to 8.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Where are your hit points?
Oh, indeed.
And like Addy, as you look around to this creature, utterly enraged, it pulls you in and its tentacles wrap round your face.
Nope, I've seen these videos before. Don't want any part of that.
Can you roll me a DC 13 Constitution save, please?
Oh no. 14.
Whoa.
Okay, you feel these tentacles like just slap at your chops, and you feel your cheeks go numb. You manage to sweep the tentacles away, and you're hopefully all right. Question mark, Victor. What do you do?
I'm gonna shoot it, inspired by Addy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Normal -5, so it's gonna be a sharpshooter shot. Yes.
20 is a hit.
20 hits. Okay. Damage 21 total.
21. So you take aim and you take another shot, and it blasts a hole through its rear carapace on the back end of it.
Okay, Addy, I'm gonna make a prawn cocktail out of it yet.
Anything else, Victor?
That's my turn.
Okay. Milia.
Drop concentration on the levitated boat, so it just like floats gently down.
Okay. Sploosh.
It's flipped like a leaf. Like
Yes.
I'm on phase.
So you will see Galena stood boldly at the front of the prow of this ship as it floats back down to the water.
levitate on Addy.
Yeah.
Force movement does not make bonus.
Yeah.
Does not do opportunity attacks. So Addy, you are now floating 20 feet in the air.
Okay.
Can't tell if this is better or worse.
Shut up.
You know what? For the lols, Addy, you begin floating out of the water, and as you like you cheer to yourself, you realise obviously it's got you around the waist again, and you look down in horror as this thing is pulled out of the water with you. So it is 10 foot above the surface of the water, hanging off you.
Spiritual weapon up, bonk.
Sure, yeah, that's a hit.
19 to hit.
19 is a hit. It's
Are we
definitely a hit.
supposed to be professional adventurers? And I feel like this is more of a bloody.
12 force damage.
12 force damage. Okay, you managed to the shield hits its wrist joint and it lets go and sploosh falls back to the water. So it's
I
not.
can only imagine what the people at New Prospero are seeing from the shore going. The boat goes up, then Addy goes up with a...
You've
What are
just
you doing?
fished up a crystalline lobster creature using your keeper.
This is how bad things get when Comstock's not around to babysit us.
Okay, so the creature makes a splashes, and Galena, you boldly get showered with seawater as this creature hits the water surface again. Anything else, Milia?
You're safe up there for now. Just, only I can move you. So if you want to move, tell me. That's it.
Galena.
Maybe move me away from this thing.
You are 20 foot in the air.
So Galena,
And I'll get you.
Move me back to land. Sorry.
As a little aside, Galena, it seems to care little for your poison. That is all I'll say on the matter.
That's fine. I will take stock for a second and be like, okay, interfere significantly reduced. Need to be careful not to do anything too dangerous. Right. Anyway, I pull my scalpel out and I'm gonna jump on it and start stabbing.
Roll through it. I won't ask for disadvantage because I know you're airborne at the time.
Don't cross an earth sprite, you bastard!
Okay, you leave the tick.
What the fuck? Oh my.
And the creature looks up and your scalpel goes right through the shell on its skull for 9 damage.
What the?
And you are attached to it, so you're not in the water, you're on its head and you're being flailed around holding onto this scalpel like a piton. Anything else, Galena? It's like whatever was in its skull, like in its brain cavity, rather just starts like the pressure of the flame just.
No, I'll just keep twisting.
Okay, Addy.
Oh my gosh, you, Galena. The first thing I write is gonna be for you. You legend.
Addy shouts from 20 foot up.
I'm going to try and cast Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
So I'm just really pissed off with it. So I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery, and how I'm going to do that is just shout at the creature mostly unintelligible nonsense about how much of a bastard it is and how much I hate the sea. But you do hear one line that comes out as "You'd look better as a bowl of chowder, you ugly shit."
You know what? Rolls a 1. Roll your damage.
Shattered.
Roll your damage.
Just a tear.
You know what?
2 psychic damage.
Just kill it.
Can we roll a 1? Like, perhaps the opening on the shell on its head allows the words to drive in. But yeah, inspired by like your screaming, like your screeching, Galena's war cries, the multiple holes that the Victor's put in it. Like Galena, you manage to twist the scalpel one final time, and the creature flails, and then kind of goes limp. And as it like sinks down, weighed down by the weight of its chitin, and you're left. You watch as it sinks into the depths, and Galena, you just kind of bloop, like you slowly lower down into the water as well. You're just treading water, watching this thing's shadow disappear into the depths.
Right, that's sorted.
So should we just continue fishing now?
I'm going to put you back in the boat.
Okay, so Galena, as you start to climb back into the boat, and you sort of like use the oars to maneuver the ship under Addy, so Malia can lower her down into it. Because there's nothing for Addy to push off of, so you just gotta play like, yeah, have it. Addy, whilst you're waiting for Galena, you start sort of like slowly rotating in space, and you notice that on the coast, behind a piece of kind of driftwood, like a driftwood log type thing, there seems to be someone watching you from the coastline.
I saw a whole lot of shit.
Wait. Wait! Before you lower me down, there's someone over there. Hello? And I sort of wave.
You notice that when the figure realizes that you've noticed them, the figure like disappears down behind its hiding log.
So it's okay. We've killed the horrific sea monster. It's gone now.
Okay. You're returned to your boat, and Addy, you can't see whoever it was that was watching you again. But yeah, between the 4 of you, what do you do?
I
So-
sort of say,
Are we done?
Finish up daubing the creature's blood on my face as war paint.
I'm never going out onto this horrid expanse of water ever again. It's just the
Galena-
worst thing ever.
Galena, if you have any sort of antidote or something to put into the water to offset the very large amount of poison you put in it.
I've got an antidote, and Addy just
Shut up.
sits over the side of the boat.
Get 20 foot up again.
Victor,
Don't worry,
as
it'll denature relatively quickly now that it's out in the air.
As the children bicker amongst themselves, what's Victor doing?
What is Victor doing? I don't. Probably he's got like a little reel and is trying to fish. Just like a little hand reel with a little rope and a little. Yeah.
Yes, funnily enough, there appear to be no fish in the nearby vicinity.
You know what?
For some reason.
Fishing's been very, very bad today.
I should just probably mention that the last time we killed a crystally thing, it didn't take, so maybe we should start heading back in.
Good point.
idea.
So,
Right.
yeah, as you turn your boats around and start making your way back in, because I mean you're pretty certain you've ticked that tick box on the job description. Yeah, Galena, you mull on it, boosted by your superior intellect at the moment, and think to yourself that this certainly isn't the first time that there have been reports of creatures with crystalline growths. Now, this doesn't seem to be anywhere near the scale that the Chimera was at They're just relatively short protrusions. But yeah, you've certainly heard from the hunters that there's been quite a few creatures like this. As you make it to the shore, you notice that, like Addy, as you kind of peer over at the log, you notice that there are footprints in the wet sand, kind of running away from the coast and up, sort of like away to one of the cavework tunnels that runs from the shoreline up towards, like, up the cliff, basically. No, sorry, that's a lie. The footprints go along the coast to the east.
Can Victor track them?
I mean, everyone can track them. The sea isn't washing in far enough to clear the footprints away, but you're certainly able to follow the prints.
Do we know who this is?
Did they look familiar at all, Dan, or were they too far away?
Give me a perception check.
I can do that. 14.
It's tough to. Whilst you didn't recognise them, like you were too far out to notice who they were. As you think back on it, as you're heading back in, it dawns on you that the frame of them, either they were like a tall sprite or not an adult.
I think I saw someone when I was up there, and there's these footprints here, and I don't know, it might have been a kid, but also something wasn't quite right. I don't know, they were a bit too, our kids have got that chubby look, haven't they? All kids, a lot of our kids anyway. A lot of our kids have got that chubby look, but this one didn't have that chubby look. It had more, almost like I don't know. It might have looked a bit like you, actually, Galena, like a sprite, that kind of frame. We don't have any other sprites in our. No other sprites came with the caravan, did they?
No, they didn't.
Interesting.
Is it?
I think we had better inquire as to who this person may be.
And Victor, you say that, yeah, 100%. You can see that these tracks lead along, like, the beach, for what it is, between the rocks at the bottom of the cliff face.
I'm happy as long as it's on land.
Following it for some time, you notice that the cliff face, which is 200 feet high, begins to taper down in height as you get about a mile along, to the point where the coast almost seems to rise kind of up to meet the cliff, giving like a natural slope away from the sea.
We're going away from the town, right?
Away from the town, yeah. So due east from the town, and tracking the footprints. It seems like whoever it is just attempting to get away quickly, but isn't particularly fast. And once you get away from the coast, back into sort of like the not the highlands, but like the fields and plains, like the wetlands nearby, the tracks themselves are still easily discoverable. And they appear to head north. And by your reckoning, looking back the way you came, you're probably about 2.5 miles away from New Prosper.
Do you think maybe there's another settlement?
Perhaps. Everything is possible.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, are you following or heading back?
Victor would follow.
Okay. Anyone else? Everyone else going with Victor?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Addy,
so
do you need a rest, or are you okay?
I was going to say, as we follow, Addie's just going to take the remaining 9 good berries from her bag and just shove them in her mouth.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
need to come here. You don't need to eat a week's worth of 2 weeks worth of food at once. Come
So
here.
Victor will give you 5 as well.
Just turn you into a good berry pie. Okay.
Cure
Like,
wounds.
So-
Veruca Salt.
12
Um,
healing.
Oh,
Shit, nice.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Uh,
so
there you
that
go.
takes me back up to 20. Plus
Victor,
my
make me
9 good
a-
berries, 29.
make me a survival check, please, Victor.
Survival. Do I have some advantage? Oh, what are my favorite creatures?
I mean,
I got
technically, you're still
beast.
under bardic inspiration, so
Could do that. Can I apply it after the roll?
You.
After seeing the roll, but before knowing the result.
Yes, correct.
All right. Let's add bardic. How much is bardic? Is it D8 6?
D6. One moment.
Way 14.
14. La-da-dee-da-da-da-da.
Whoa, a question mark?
Mm.
What
Yes.
dice has that on it?
So, Victor, you continue following the tracks.
Yes.
And let's say they're kind of leading through this kind of wetland, like prairie type area. And after a relatively short amount of time, you notice what appears to be thin drifts of smoke rising from what appeared from a log-walled settlement of some description.
Oh wow.
And as you peer it and think, "Oh, I've never like, what is that?" You hear the sound of a bowstring being drawn. Stop right there! You hear a voice shout out.
Who says that?
You turn to see that there's a young boy with a drawn bow aimed at you. The bow itself looks decidedly kind of handmade, quite basic, basic but efficient. And there appear to be sort of like red feathers on the arrow shaft. The boy looks to you, and you notice that there's white striped war paint across his cheeks and across his upper arms. His face is partly concealed by a green hood and cloak, and he seems to have this kind of like patterned wear. Despite looking quite scrawny, the build of him, despite being a child, denotes that it's a wolfkin. I'm asking the questions. Who are you?
Victor, who are you?
It's clear that he wasn't expecting such a ready answer. And my name's Garim. What? Why are you in the sea?
Fishing for prawns mostly. Big prawns.
The boy kind of looks to you all in turn. And he looks to you, Adian. Are you a keeper?
Addie looks down at herself. I think so.
And he slowly kind of slackens the bowstring slightly. Are you in that new place up on the cliff?
Yes.
And
Yes, we settled there 2 weeks ago.
The boy kind of like rolls his eyes, kind of chortles, and I know, he says, and he strides forward and he looks you up and down, and you don't seem that scary up close. He says,
Me?
looking to the four of you.
Oh, I assure you we can be quite terrifying. And I give him a little like a wink and a smile as like a friendly.
It's clear to everyone else that this kid is young enough that goes right over his head. But he's now looking at you, Galena, and like the kid is like early teens tops, but he's annoyingly still slightly taller than you.
Of course.
And he looks down to you and, are you a kid?
Are you?
Yeah. Are you?
No.
You're really small.
Oh. That explains a lot, actually.
And he
Hold
looks
on.
to you.
I'll mold earth under myself into a pillar so that I'm standing just a few inches taller than him.
He
That
looks
better.
to you. The boy kind of nods, and there's this distinct kind of innocence around him, mixed with this kind of fear of the unknown. And that was cool. You need to show that to Kagekna.
Who is Gagegna?
She's the boss.
Boss of what?
This way, he says, and he sort of like gestures you towards the settlement nearby, the logged walled settlement. And as you approach, you notice that Victor, this whole area seems to have been settled by this settlement up ahead, to the extent that you notice that there's what appears to be like a dry moat around the walls of this log fort, and there are a number of sharp stakes pointing up towards the sky. Over the moat is a relatively rickety looking wooden bridge, but as you approach, like, Garim, the small boy, hasn't really said anything else, but as you approach,
I'm gonna just whisper in, like sort of side whisper to Millie, like, I don't interact with children very often, even back in my village. Like,
Neither do I.
Oh.
As you approach the drawbridge and take a step onto it, you see two Wolfkin women stood at the gates shout something in presumably Wolfkin, and like Garen like springs forward chattering and kind of excitedly talking, and every time he jumps up and down, you feel the drawbridge that you stood on sort of like creak uncomfortably under your feet, and Garen turns to you and says, come in, welcome. And as you walk, like, peer in through the gates, you see a somewhat intimidating looking Wolfkin man stride towards you, barking. The best way to describe the way he shouts is the bark of a wolf. And behind him, what appears to be a woman on the back of a horse. But as she approaches and gets closer, it dawns on you that she's not mounted on a horse. She appears to be part of it.
Centaur! Yeah!
And as Kagekna looks to you and in a very heavy accent says,
Garim, who are these people?
We'll call it there.
What's going on?
Okay, Addy is going to have to hit her up for some good hoof cream, because you just can't get the tree sap around these parts, you know? Like, there's just nothing. I mean, my hooves are so just dry and cracked and gross right now, and hers look pristine, so I really need to know the secret.
There you go. Perfect bonding exercise. Who are these people? Why are they here?
Can you help my feet?
We need to get Frinker in on this.
Who's your chiropodist?
No, not your fate.
Congratulations, everyone, on completing session 8.
Yay!
Hooray!
Hey,
You did it.
nice one.
So, yes, you're not the only ones on the block, it would seem.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
No,
awkward.
And
Meet the neighbors.
a quick shout out once again to Birdie Maps for a phenomenal map, which we didn't get a chance to look at properly today, but what you should certainly do is make sure that you come back next time and see it in its full glory in the next episode, shouldn't you?
Like,
That
from
was
what I
a-
can
nice.
see, it looks gorgeous.
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 Fucking gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yes. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoy what we're doing here, then we've got loads of other stuff very similar to this, and some stuff that's not quite so similar to this. So, take your pick. We release content very, very regularly, so you should 100% hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can know when we're releasing new stuff. You should leave a comment on how you feel the party did on a scale of 1 to 10 in their little nautical combat, with 0 being
How they did.
how they did, and 10 being how well they could have done. Yeah, I digress. Yeah, thank you all. I guess the only thing left to say is I'll see you all next time. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Might be from a different place next week. I'll be in Germany.
Bye-bye.
Ooh. Well, in which case, yes. Goodbye to you, and Alfie is saying to you.
Hey.
Hey, see you later.
Yes.
Bye.
After a short break, our explorers are back in the thick of it, discovering they may not be as alone in the wilderness as they once thought. Will these wolfkin prove to be friends or foes? Come back next time to find out. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Since this episode recorded, we've made it past our 2nd subscriber milestone, and the Tavern Between Dimensions is now back as a live stream every other Friday. So, come along if you fancy grabbing a drink, pull up a chair and join us for some nerds, natter, nonsense. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below with your marks of respect for those poor Croaks. We upload new actual plays pretty much every week, and you can find another video here. Make sure to subscribe here and hit the bell icon to keep up to date with our newest releases. So, that's that. Once again, thank you all for watching, and as always, stay safe and keep exploring.